In the great library of human wisdom, two philosophies stand like twin pillars of immense strength: Stoicism, born in the bustling marketplaces of ancient Greece, and Buddhism, which arose from the quiet forests of ancient India. For centuries, seekers of truth, from Roman emperors to humble ascetics, have walked these seemingly parallel paths. Both are profound systems designed for a single purpose: to end human suffering by mastering the inner world. Both teach us the foundational truth that it is not the chaotic events outside of us that cause our pain, but our internal judgment and reaction to them. They both provide a detailed blueprint for building what the Stoics called the inner citadel, a fortress of the mind so powerful, so well defended, that the inevitable chaos and tragedies of the external world cannot breach its walls. They teach resilience. They forge unbreakable spirits. They create a psychological armor against the arrows of outrageous fortune. And yet, what if one of these paths leads beyond the fortress walls to an open field of infinite freedom? What if, beyond the incredible power of enduring suffering, there lies a truth so profound it doesn't just help you manage your pain, but dissolves it at its very root? This is not a competition of which philosophy is better, but an exploration of a crucial divergence. Stay with me, because the one truth that separates these two giants is the key to understanding the difference between a life of admirable resilience and a life of profound, unshakable liberation. The Stoic ideal, perfected by masters like the slave-turned-philosopher Epictetus and the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, is to become an invincible warrior of the mind. Your inner self, your core consciousness or prohairesis, is the king residing within that inner citadel. The entire practice of Stoicism is the relentless training to fortify this internal kingdom. You learn to differentiate what you can control, your thoughts, your judgments, your actions, from what you cannot control, which is everything else. You train your thoughts like disciplined soldiers, challenging any irrational fear or destructive desire that dares to approach the gates. You stand firm against the siege of fortune, be it poverty, betrayal, public humiliation, or even the certainty of death. This is an exceptionally noble and incredibly powerful way to live. You learn to protect the king, to keep him safe, to ensure that no matter what storms rage outside, he remains undisturbed, rational, and virtuous. In essence, the Stoic builds an unbreakable shield to protect the self, preserving its integrity against a hostile world. It is the art of becoming an immovable mountain in the middle of a hurricane. But here, after admiring the sheer strength of this mountain, the Buddha asks a question that changes the entire landscape. He looks at the mighty citadel, at the disciplined thought soldiers, at the calm and protected king sitting on his throne, and he gently asks, "Who precisely is this king you are working so hard to protect?" This question shifts the focus from defense to investigation. The Buddhist path doesn't just focus on strengthening the fortress, it dares to light a torch and explore the identity of the ruler inside. And what it discovers through deep, radical introspection is the most revolutionary truth in the history of human thought. When you look closely enough for this permanent, solid, independent king, he is nowhere to be found. This is the one truth Buddhism offers that Stoicism never fully explored: the doctrine of anatta, or not self. While the Stoic strengthens the ego, the self, to make it resilient, the Buddha reveals that this very ego, this persistent feeling of a fixed, separate me at the center of our experience, is an illusion. It's a temporary collection of thoughts, feelings, memories, and sensations, constantly changing like a river. And this illusion of a solid self is the ultimate source of our suffering. It's this constructed self that feels insulted by a stray comment. It's this self that fears the loss of its possessions, its status, its very life. It's this self that craves what it doesn't have and clings desperately to what it does. The fortress the Stoics build is to protect something that, upon close inspection, is as fleeting and insubstantial as a ghost. Imagine you are desperately trying to hold a handful of water. The Stoic approach is to train your hand to become like a steel cup, to be so disciplined and strong that not a single drop can escape, an incredible feat of mental control and endurance. The Buddhist approach is to look closely at the nature of the water and the nature of your hand, and realize the only way to truly possess the water is to open your hand and let it join the river. The struggle was never with the water, it was with the act of clinging. Stoicism teaches you how to master the art of enduring suffering. Buddhism teaches you how to uproot the very mechanism that creates suffering in the first place. This is not to say that one path invalidates the other. They can be seen as different tools for different stages of the same grand journey toward peace. Stoicism builds the incredible strength and mental discipline you need to even begin walking the path. It forges the focus required to sit still long enough to perform the deep investigation that Buddhism asks of you. But Buddhism offers the final, liberating step. It takes the unbreakable shield that the Stoics so brilliantly crafted and shows you that you have the freedom to lay it down. Because when you truly and deeply understand the empty, transient nature of the self, you realize there was never a solid target to be hit in the first place. You don't need a fortress when you discover you are not the small, vulnerable king inside, but the vast, open and free sky that contains the entire storm.